Broadcasting from the Stewart Title Studio on Broadway in Tucson, Arizona, you are now tuned into The Mark Bishop Show, discussing life and business with guests from all over the world. And now your host, Mark Bishop.
You know, folks, should you use summer break to prepare your children for financial independence? Well, this expert holds a bachelor's degree in economics from Hiram College and a master's degree in economics from the University of South Carolina. You know, developing positive personal finance skills early in life can lead to long-term fiscal stability and success. And with school out and summer in full swing, Bank of America's April Schneider is helping parents take advantage of this moment in time to better prepare their children for financial independence. Hi there, April.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Well, you're head of consumer and small business products for the BofA, right? Now, why is summer a perfect opportunity for parents? Tell me why. I know we're going to do some tips and all that through this chat a little bit later, but to help their kids get savvy about their finances in general, is that the idea?
Yeah, I'd say there's some downtime in summer, so I'd flip some of these educational conversations in with your kids without making it be too formal or stuffy. I'd make it fun and light while they're in the pool. You're heading off on that summer vacation. You have some downtime that you typically don't have as a family. And what we know about Gen Z, which is this demographic that are in high school heading off to college, is they really value advice and guidance, and they're just waiting for us to talk to them. So I would say, while we have this time with them, let's go for it.
Well, summer's here, and for millions of parents who have children who are working summer jobs, preparing to head off to college or simply hanging out, as you say, it's an ideal time to help their children get savvy about their finances. Now, April, we're going to share some tips for these parents in a moment, but I just want to touch on the fact that the Bank of America was recently named Best Bank for College Students. Why is that?
Thank you for saying that. We were. So we have a great banking account called Advantage Safe Balance Banking, and it allows our students to bank without the worry of overdraft or non-sufficient fund fees. And there's absolutely no maintenance fee for eligible students under age 24. So that's the primary reason, and we're really proud of it.
Well, they'd love that one, that's for sure. Now, let's take these tips in order. Let's start with create a budget. For many young adults, summer means a part-time job along with a new and often first source of income. Boy, I can remember that. April, I guess the key here is to somehow teach children how to plan and track their spending as their first step toward financial independence.
It is. And I would say there's a couple of ways to do it. Is make it simple. So I wouldn't, talk to your children with anything that's overly complex. I would say money comes in, money goes out, and the timing of when money comes in and goes out really matters. I would have them anticipate money they're going to earn, because that's half of the equation, and they're going to earn it in different ways, job at a local store, babysitting, and gifts. And then there's going to be a couple of ways that they're going to spend. So there's going to be money they're going to need to spend. So if they're headed off to college, if they have a car, they're going to have gas or, incidental repairs, Uber these days, books. And the money they're going to want to spend. And in your college, that's like the big rub, right? I have to do some things, and then, gosh, I'm going to really want to do some things in college. And the earlier they make these trade-offs, the better. And it's going to be lifelong lessons that are never going to leave them. So in the earlier we help our children with budgeting, again, ins and outs, and the timing of the ins and outs. And that's where we see a lot of people get caught up, the better.
Yeah.
And mobile is second thing that's really where it could help. So our kids are so glued to their phone. Technology can make banking and budgeting and understanding the ins and outs even easier. And parents can help engage there with, simple questions. Hey, what do your balances look like? Where did it change and why? And then the last thing is just make savings a habit. So start small. And I would say make it realistic, because, I went back to talking about, spending. Necessities tend to get in the way of the fun, but we all have to learn how to manage it. And that really is going to mirror life, no matter what age you are. So if we could start our children out early and build them on a path to success, it's really going to help them be financially independent, which is a feeling and a skill set no one could take away.
Well, as you say, it's funny about that, but money in and money out, and then it's, Dad, can you loan me? What about opening a bank account? What do you suggest there's the best way for them to go about that?
Yeah, I would say, ask questions and be, curious about it. You just don't have to go in and just go in, open the account and leave. I'd say ask questions. So I'd say, ask if there are account fees and how they work. Have the bank explain things like what are called monthly maintenance fees and even potential overdraft fees that may be applied to the account. And ask the question if you have to keep a certain amount of money in the account to avoid those fees. And then we talked about mobile banking. Make sure there's an easy-to-use mobile banking app because remember, it's going to be the way to stay connected to all the features and benefits of your account and your balances and spending. And you can engage with your child, your student, emerging adult about that. And then another thing that shouldn't be overlooked is, are there ATMs nearby? And you may say, well, April, you just talked about mobile banking. Why should I care about ATMs? And while your child may use mobile and debit, their debit card, they're still going to need some access to cash. So if there are ATMs nearby, and even importantly, if they're headed off to college, if there are ATMs on campus, that's a great benefit. And then last, I would say, are there student-specific accounts or student fee waivers? Because after all, if we could give our children a little jump while they're in college and in a student that might be in high school, why not? Let's ask these questions.
April, my next question was going to be, what about credit cards and being safe with them, though? Being careful, because, they're too easy, aren't they?
Yeah, with credit cards, there's a yes and no answer about having them. So I would say credit cards are not a bad thing. I would say because building a strong credit history, it takes a long credit history to build a strong credit history. So I'd say for that reason, a credit card, in college could be a great tool for that, for managing expenses. But my but to that, though, is that we need to help our students understand how to use them thoughtfully and responsibly.
Right.
So my guidance there is if you're going to plan purchases that you're going to pay back and to pay them off on time and in full. So the example would be, if we know that, our child or student was going to go to dinner anyway and they planned to pay it in cash and they pulled out their credit card, it would be, hey, when you get your statement, pay it off because you don't want to pay for that dinner with fees and interest. That would not be the way to go if you don't pay it off and on time. And then I just would generally not charge purchases that can't be paid back. I think what people generally know is strong credit history is important for future loans, which college students tend to think is way in the future. I'm not going to buy a home or a car now, so why worry now? Let me use my credit card how I want. But my biggest advice there is they may not realize what's in their immediate future is renting an apartment, being considered by potential employers, and car insurance, which could be impacted if they impair their credit. So kind of long story short here is if you use credit wisely, it could be great. And it starts to really show your long-term responsible credit behaviors, and it could give you peace of mind. That's
good. So, April, what's the first thing I should do if I'm going to prepare a child to start managing their money then?
I would say talk to them often, talk to them a lot. Having family conversations is great because there's the engagement with parent and child. And again, this generation really does value advice and guidance. I think we just need to approach them and make it fun and light. If it's overly heavy, a child or a student may not want to engage. I think having the conversations is really important. That's going to set them up for that financial independence.
So what should a concerned parent look for when setting up the child's first bank account?
Again, fees on the accounts is important, understanding if there are any minimums on it. And I would say student-specific accounts or student fee waivers is great. And then pairing it, we have a reward savings account. So starting out with those savings behaviors, so you could understand how you're transacting in one account and saving in another, and learning the interplay between the two so that you really could help your students set themselves up for that financial success that's going to last them a lifetime.
As far as you're concerned, it's okay for a young adult to have a credit card.
It's going to be person dependent, but as long as they are using it thoughtfully, responsibly, planning their purchases, and paying off their balances on time and in full, it should be okay.
Yeah. I think you're spot on about that. What about any additional tips, April? Where can anyone go to find these?
Sure. So there's two great places. So one, if anyone wants to get more information around, how to build credit, the basics of banking and savings, and any other general information to really break down difficult financial topics in a way that's more approachable, we have bettermoneyhabits.com. It's a free platform that just has a lot of information really broken down really well. And then for students specifically, we have bankofamerica.com, student banking. That's all about our student accounts and everything that a student can do within the mobile app, which, of course, is 24/7, send money securely within Zelle. It's safe and secure, a lot of fraud protections, digital debit card, just everything you need.
That's very good. And by the way, folks, April's team is responsible for delivering the products and services that help Bank of America's 66 million consumer and 3.5 million small business clients meet their financial goals. And Schneider's team consists of approximately 800 employees across the country, and they're focused on providing clients with a full range of convenient and innovative financial products and services. So they're responsible for growing Bank of America's $700 billion in consumer and small business deposits and $95 billion in outstanding credit card balances. Wow. Does that give you a big head, April?
Not at all.
Marvelous. Well, I'm BOA, so, I'm a bit biased. Have you worked in the consumer product space for more than 20 years, holding a number of leadership positions at the Bank of America? You have worked, I should say, including products, pricing executive, mortgage and home equipment products. You've seen a lot of things. Many changes over the years?
There have been a lot, and I would say, the way that consumers behave have changed. Regulations have changed. The industry has changed. The way that products are used have changed. All of it has made, my job extremely interesting and fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
There you go. It's nice to work in something that you really enjoy. Now, you hold a bachelor's degree in economics, as I said, from Hiram College, and a master's degree in economics from the University of South Carolina. And she serves as market sponsor for Tucson, Arizona, right here in the beautiful southern Arizona area, executive sponsor of the bank's parent care network, and currently leads the advisory board for BAI Research. What is that?
It's an advisory board that we get together, all the large banks, to talk about what's going on in the industry to help advance some of the causes. So it's a really, I'd say, technical and analytic type industry advisory board.
Excellent. Well, it keeps you right on top anyway for the future. Well, Thank you for giving us the time, April. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me here.
All righty. Have a good day. April Schneider.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you, April Schneider, Bank of America. And, boy, do they do a lot of work and staying ahead for the youth of tomorrow the right way.